This meeting of the Committee of Adjustment is being held in person in council chambers at the Ajax Town Hall and is being live streamed for public viewing on the internet pursuant to the Committee of Adjustment terms of reference and meeting procedures. If we encounter any technical difficulties, we may take a brief recess while they are resolved. Thank you for your patience, and we will now proceed with the meeting. For those joining us in person this evening, if you haven't done so already, I ask that you complete the sign-in sheet at the podium. If you wish to speak to an application, please include your email address when signing in. I will now call this meeting to order. We would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is situated within the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas, more specifically the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nations, signatories of the Gunshot Treaty of 1788 and the Williams Treaties of 1923. This land is and will continue to be home to the Indigenous peoples. Let us acknowledge the mistakes and traumas of the past through authenticity and support truth and reconciliation. Let us engage and celebrate Indigenous communities by being leaders of action in acknowledging the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's recommendations towards truth and reconciliation. Let us keep these principles close as we continue towards truth and reconciliation and as we move forward with kindness and respect as a community. Before moving on to the application portion of the meeting, I would like to confirm whether there are any disclosures of interest from the members of committee. We have one online person. I'm going to assume we are okay with Wasif. Third agenda item, I would like to do the adoption of the minutes from our previous meeting, which was held on Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. Do I have someone who would like to approve the minutes? Thank you, Ken. Is there a seconder? Thank you very much, Tomas. Is there any discussion in regards? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you very much. The mandate for the Committee of Adjustment derives its jurisdiction and authority from the Planning Act. The committee is responsible for considering applications which seek to authorize the following: minor variances from the provisions of the town's zoning bylaw, extensions, enlargements, or variations of legal non-conforming use of any land, building, or structure, permit the use of any land, building, or structure for any purpose that, in the opinion of the committee, conforms with the provisions of the zoning bylaw where the uses permitted in the zoning bylaw are defined in general terms. Consent to sever new lot from existing lot. Consent to alter the existing boundaries of a lot, such as lot additions and lot line adjustments. Consent to register rights of way and easements over land. Consent to sell, mortgage, charge, or enter into any agreement for more than 21 years for a portion of land, and validation of land title when there has been an error in the description of land. When considering minor variances, the committee is to consider whether the general intent and purpose of both the Town of Ajax official plan and zoning bylaw are maintained. The proposal is desired for the appropriate development and or use of the subject land, building, or structure, and is the variance minor in nature. When considering consents, the committee must ensure proposals conform to the Region of Durham and the Town of Ajax official plans and have regard to the matters outlined under the Planning Act. In all scenarios, the committee must ensure consistency with the in effect provincial policy statements and conformity with the in effect provincial plans. The process for tonight's meeting will be conducted in the following manner. The applicant and/or agent will be called upon and at their option may provide a brief description of the minor variance and/or consent application that they have applied for. The committee members may ask questions of the applicant or agent, after which anyone with direct interest in the application will be given the opportunity to speak either for or against the application. Once a motion has been put forward by a committee member, there will be no further input from the applicant and/or agent or anyone having interest in the application. After a decision is made, notice will be sent out and there will be a 20-day appeal period. The decision of the committee may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant or a specified person or public body as outlined in the Planning Act. Please note that a third-party appeals from neighboring landowners, owners, or members of the public are not permitted. The decision will become final and binding if no appeals are received during the 20-day appeal period. If a building permit or other approvals are required, they may be filed during the appeal period. However, no permits or approvals will be issued until the appeal period is over and the decision becomes firm and binding. A respectful decorum during this evening's proceedings is expected of all present at all times. Let me now take a moment to introduce you to the committee members presiding over the procedures this evening. To my right, I have Thomas Baca, Ken Elliott, and online we have Wasif Ahmed. I am acting chair tonight, Lori Roberts. Staff, we have, to my left here, we have Eric Simpson, who is the senior planner and secretary treasurer of the committee. Sarah Moore is the legislative specialist. And Mark is not here this evening, and I apologize, I don't have your gentlemen's names. The first application for tonight's meeting is A16-24. The variance that, it has been submitted by Valuddin Muhammad on behalf of Saeed Islam and Saida Shoma, and I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. The variance requested is to permit uncovered. Before I say the variance requested, I'm going to go to Eric and ask if notice was served and if any responses were received.
Notice was served and no responses were received.
Thank you very much. For the applicant, no, I'm going to read. The variance, I apologize. The variance is requested is to permit uncovered steps leading to a below-grade entrance within the northwest interior side yard with a minimum setback of 0.5 meters from the northwest interior side lot line. The bylaw requirement for that is uncovered steps leading to or from a principal building or platform are not permitted within a required interior side yard. And the minimum setback for the interior side lot line, 0.3 meters on one side and 1.2 meters on the other for detached dwellings, and a minimum aggregate setback between dwellings of 1.2 meters. The minimum setback requirement from the northwest interior side lot line is 1.2 meters. Eric, nope, I asked Eric. For the applicant, staff has written a report recommending approval of your application A16-24 with 6 conditions, and those conditions are as follows: that the subject variance apply only to the property municipally known as 105 Hopkinson Crescent, substantially in accordance with the drawings submitted with this minor variance application, or this decision shall become null and void. 2, that an unobstructed pedestrian path of travel to or from the uncovered steps be maintained at all times on the subject property, or this decision shall become null and void. 3, that an unobstructed pedestrian path of travel to and from the rear yard be maintained at all times on the subject property, or this decision shall become null and void. 4, that any existing utilities be relocated as necessary in consultation with the applicable utility agencies and the town to a location that does not impede access to or from the uncovered steps, or this decision shall become null and void. 5, that the owner applicant maintain the existing drainage on the property, or this decision shall become null and void. And 6, that the owner applicant obtain all necessary building permits from the town, or this decision shall become null and void. Is the applicant or agent present?
Good evening, Madam Chair. This is Waliuddin Muhammad from McWays Inc., 6 Pond Street, Mississauga,
Thank you
and
very,
I'm the applicant for this application.
thank you very much. Have you received a copy of the report?
Yes, I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, and do you have any questions or comments in regards to this application?
No questions. The only comment is that the requested variance we believe is minor in nature because we are still able to meet all the conditions laid out by staff. And also, if you look at the report, we are still able to maintain proper access to the rear yard without impeding much of the side yard. We believe the application is very much minor in nature and is desirable for development. So we kindly request the committee to consider and approve of this application. Any questions from your end, I'd be glad to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will now reach out to my committee members and see if they have any questions for the applicant and/or staff. Ken?
Hi, through you, Madam Chair. When I look at Figure 3, which is page 22, and it's the picture of the side yard. There it is. Okay. I was curious, there is an indication of a furnace and air conditioning here. Is there a gas line along this side, or is it on a different side of the house?
Through the chair, I'll defer that one to the homeowner who is in attendance.
If I can ask you to come up to the mic, and then it's probably this one on this, there might be a sign-in sheet on this side. Thank you.
All right, you can
Thank
hear
you.
me? Yeah, there is a gas line. I talked to Enbridge, so once the plan is approved, I'll move the gas line to a safe distance that doesn't interfere with the proposed construction.
Okay.
Okay.
And a follow-up question?
Yep.
Is the underground entrance going to be before or after the window that I see at the side of the house?
It will be before.
It'll be before. So will there be a light that will be shining on the stairs going down? It is an underground entrance. I didn't know if you were going to have oh, sorry.
If I may, Madam Chair, and the applicant.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, so as per the requirements of the Ontario Building Code, this would be reviewed by building staff, and yes, an exterior light would be provided for the stairs because it's an below-grade staircase, so and an entrance, so any which way light would be provided, an external light.
Is there a window or any opening on the neighbor's side of the property to be aware of any light overflow onto the neighbor property?
No, there is no window.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Any further questions from committee? I'll just see, we have one of our committee members is virtual, so I'm just going to give a minute, see if he has anything. Okay.
Through you, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Just a question to the applicant or the agent. There was a condition, or at least outlined in the report, that if the applicant was looking to use this as an accessory apartment, they could, but they would need to do a separate application through the building permit. I just wanted to make sure the agent and applicant are aware of that.
Yes, we are aware of this, and if right now this is not being proposed for an accessory or an additional apartment, but if in future the homeowner wishes to apply for or use it as a rental use or accessory use, he will apply for permits as required.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. And any other questions from committee? Are we okay? Anybody in attendance who would like to speak either for or against this application? And is there anybody? No one is online. Okay. So seeing that no one else wishes to speak to this application, can I please look for a motion for the application?
Thank you.
Ken?
Nature, and it is desirable for the appropriate development and use of the property in keeping with general and intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning.
Thank you very much. And a seconder. Thank you very much, Tomas. And any discussion in regards to the motion? Seeing none, may I look for a vote? Thank you very much. Application A16-24 has been approved, subject to the 6 conditions as outlined in the staff report and the 20-day appeal period.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and committee members. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we are going to move on to application A17-24. It is submitted by Coghlan Homes Construction Co. Limited on behalf of Cogs Investments Limited. The minor variance that is being requested for application A17-24 is to permit the extension of the legal non-conforming use of a detached dwelling on the subject lands. The legal non-conforming detached dwelling currently contains 1 dwelling unit. The variance request seeks to permit 2 dwelling units within the detached dwelling, and the bylaw requirement for this is residential uses, i.e. dwellings, are not permitted within the golf facility. Eric, can I please confirm that notice was served and if any responses were received?
Madam Chair, notice was served and no responses were received.
Thank you very much. For the applicant, staff has written a report recommending approval for your application A17-24. This application is subject to 2 conditions, and those conditions are that the subject variance apply only to the existing detached dwelling known as 124 Squire Drive, which is part of a larger parcel of land municipally known as 2075 Salem Road North, or this decision shall become null and void. And 2, that the owner applicant obtain all necessary building permits from the town, or this decision shall become null and void. Is the applicant or agent present? Thank you very much. If you can come up to the podium there, if I can ask you to please sign in and state your name.
Russell, construction manager for Coghlan Homes.
Thank you very much. And have you received a copy of the report?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you have any questions or any comments in regards to the application?
No, I think as it says in the report, it's an existing bungalow that we'd like to basically change into a duplex to have 2 smaller rental apartments. So I think it's a positive for affordability for renters. We can rent the smaller units at a lower monthly rate and also contribute a unit to the housing supply, which isn't much to move the needle, but it's in the right direction.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm going to ask committee members if anybody has any questions for the applicant or staff. I'm just going to give a moment to see if our virtual committee member has anything.
Through you, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I would like to apologize to Deer Creek. I think some of my errant golf shots have hit this building at least more than once.
I think
And that's
the marshals are the ones that benefit from that. It's tough to keep them on the course doing their job and not looking for balls, but I'm just kidding.
That's funny. Is there anybody, I'm not seeing anybody in the facility here who would either speak for or against. Do we have anybody virtually? We have one person virtually who would like to speak. Okay, I'm just, bear with us one moment. We're just seeing if our virtual attendee is available or not.
Carwin, if you had anything to add, you can speak now.
Would you like us to, oh, here we go.
Hi, sorry. Nothing for me, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, no.
I think you might have muted yourself, Carwin.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, nothing for me, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Nothing from you? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. I'm just going to look to my committee members one more time to see if they have any comments. Seeing none, can I please look for a motion on the application? Tomas.
Madam Chair, I move to approve application A17-24, subject to all staff conditions on the basis that it is minor in nature, desirable for the appropriate development and use of the property, and in keeping with the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw.
Thank you very much. And do we have a seconder? Thank you very much, Ken. Any comments in regards to the motion? Seeing none, I would like to call for a vote. Might have to vote again. Just do it, yeah. Thank you very much. Application A17-24 has been approved subject to the two conditions as outlined in the staff report and the 20-day appeal period.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks to the committee. Eric, thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'm going to move on to number 6 of the agenda, other business or new business. And see none, I will now call for adjournment. Can I have someone who will make a motion to adjourn? Thank you very much. Thomas, a seconder, Ken, and all those in favor. Thank you very much. This meeting is officially adjourned, and thank you for your patience, everyone.